Alright everyone, it's your boy Fernie here with another new Cryptids and Monsters news video. Still having a lot of fun doing these videos, so I thought I would share another one here. This one from an MSN.com article. I believe it comes from a website called the Puzzlarium, and in it, it talks about 15 cryptids from around the world. So I thought I would showcase these slides here. We could talk about those cryptids together. I'll give my own thoughts and opinions on them as well. Let me know what you guys and gals think. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's start here. Very first one has to do with a legendary creature. Number one on the list is the Bigfoot. So let's see what it says. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, is a large ape-like creature said to roam the forests of North America. Eyewitnesses describe it as standing 6 to 10 feet tall, muscular build, shaggy dark hair. But despite numerous alleged sightings and footprint casts, conclusive evidence of his existence remains elusive. Absolutely right. Here you see a nice rendition of it right here. It's remained elusive. It's definitely one of the most best kept secret cryptids out there, no matter how popular it is. To me, it's definitely number one on the All Stars. Nobody has any concrete proof linked to it. There's the most infamous video that was from a couple of decades back, which shows Bigfoot walking away from the person doing a video on them. That remains the most hallmark evidence, but otherwise, that's it. I did see one time one piece of evidence that was from a drone. It was moving about through the top of some forest, and there you see a very large creature just for a few seconds run, run between one clearing to another, and it looked like it was a Bigfoot. That's it. That's all we have to it. So, next one here. Oh, look at that. That has to be Loch Ness. Yes, it is. Loch Ness Monster, number two. Affectionately known as Nessie, Loch Ness Monster is a serpentine creature believed to inhabit the deep waters of Loch Ness. Descriptions of the creatures vary. Most accounts include a long neck, humps on the back, and a large body, maybe a plesiosaur. Some actually misidentify it, though, as known animals or hoaxes. So let's talk about that here. Definitely another all star. Absolutely, when it comes to any kind of lists. Another one that remains famously elusive. Closest one is that infamous black and white photograph that apparently shows the Loch Ness Monster somewhere in the water. There's been other videos as well, but it usually just showcases something moving away from a far distance, creating ripples in the water, and it could be anything else altogether. I remember one of the most famous recent examples was Charlie Sheen. Apparently, he decided to go over there and try to stay for a little while and see if he could capture evidence associated with the Loch Ness Monster, but he did not. Just like anyone else that's out there. Still remains, though, that location an infamous tourist trap. They definitely capitalized with regards to bringing as many people as possible there, along with a gift shop and other things that you can collect along the way, so that way you can showcase your stay there at Loch Ness. So, next one. Ooh, what's this one here? Looks like a little rat. Chupacabra? That's the Chupacabra? That's a pretty unique rendition of the Chupacabra, if you ask me. The Chupacabra, or goat sucker, is a bloodthirsty creature that allegedly attacks and drains the blood of livestock in Latin America. Descriptions range from a reptilian creature with spines on its back to a hairless dog-like animal with fangs. But most people sightings can be contributed to coyotes with severe mange or other known animals. Absolutely. They pretty much summed it up right there. I agree. This is a creature that could easily, 90% plus of the time, could be misidentified as a poor animal with mange. It definitely has its lore here, though, anywhere actually within the southern parts of the U.S., especially, of course, when you get closer to Mexico, you'll have it there. But otherwise, here you have a creature that is supposedly sucking on the blood associated with animals. Its telltale marks are two or maybe three puncture wounds as well. And I've talked about several videos in the past, including its origin, how some poor woman was essentially the first one to be its witness, and then it just took on a life of its own. And then ever since then, the chupacabra has remained a legend. The other day, I was talking about a news article that apparently they're up there in Maryland too. They've traveled all the way from the south up to Maryland, up to the northeast. So how about that? Next one. Ah, look at that. That must be the Yeti. Great rendition there. Yes, Yeti, the Himalayas, number four. The Yeti, or the Abominable Snowman, is a mysterious ape-like creature said to inhabit the high altitudes of Himalayan mountains. They describe the Yeti as a large bipedal creature, white or reddish-brown hair, but it could also be a surviving population of Gigantopithecus, an extinct genus of great ape. That's a first. I remember talking about that. So yeah, the Yeti, talk about a creature that excellently camouflages itself. As good as the Bigfoot is in any type of forest setting, imagine something like this. It's basically one of the best renditions yet of camouflage. Just solid white fur up there in the mountains with a lot of snow. You'd be hard pressed to find it. Even if you have great eyesight with binoculars, you won't be able to find it until it's too late. Or if it has that reddish hair, maybe it stands out even more, but that seems to be more rarer when it comes to these encounters. Plus, the locations that it's found, who else is going to be up there? Only some souls that decide to climb those high peaks. Those are the only people that could have a chance of running into it, but otherwise, it definitely can remain far more elusive than the Bigfoot themselves. Ah, the Mothman. This has to be the Mothman. These are great drawings. I don't know who did these, but they are fantastic. Mothman, United States, number 5. Mothman is a winged humanoid creature seen in Point Pleasant, Virginia. Glowing red eyes, wingspan of 10 to 15 feet, dark muscular body. It was connected to the Silver Bridge, or it's apparently connected to the Silver Bridge collapse, which in 1967, which claimed 60 or 46 lives. So let's talk about that here. This is a creature that is also as elusive as the ones mentioned before. It definitely had its heyday for a while, and then it just dropped off the face of the earth. Try to find more recent Mothman sightings today, and it's going to be very, very hard to do so, despite the fact that it should be pretty easy to spot. The idea, if you have something like this, a large winged man that's covered in all fur with very, very large wings, and of course its telltale hallmark big reddish eyes, you could definitely spot it from a while away, but no, people still don't see it to this day. I can't even tell you like any type of news articles that I talked about recently that showcase sightings, which is almost a good thing because people also link its sightings with upcoming natural disasters. It's more along the lines of a bad omen, bad luck. If it comes across anywhere near your area, watch out. Oh, what's this one? Let's see, number 7, thylacine. Am I saying it right? Thylacine? Thylacine? The thylacine or Tasmanian tigers are carnivorous marsupial that was declared extinct in 1936. However, alleged sightings of thylacine persist in remote areas of Australia and New Guinea. It's a dog-like body with tiger-like stripes, long stiff tail, and a pouch for its youngs. This is new. I don't remember talking about this. This is one of those cases where it's not really like a cryptid of urban legend status. Instead, it's more of a real animal, and it just happened to go extinct, much like a dodo bird or something like that. If it was the case that this is a creature out there still in the wild somewhere, some pockets of it having its population, I would not be surprised by that. There's bound to be some areas that just happen to have this thylacine roaming about that people just don't know about. And so for all intents and purposes, to us humans, it is extinct. But no, it could be having just a small amount of these creatures right there roaming somewhere there in Australia. We just have to find them, but hopefully we don't, because then that means that people will want to collect it or start doing the worst things associated with it. And so, for its own safety, it's best if it remains hidden like that. But I do believe that there should be more of these out there. Oh, look at that. What is this? The Kraken? Let's see. Yes, it is. Number 8, the Kraken. Giant, tentacled sea monster of legend, said to dwell in the depths of the world's oceans. They range from a massive octopus or squid to a crab like creature capable of dragging ships to their doom. While it's often considered a mythical beast, some creatures believe that giant squid sightings maybe inspired the legend. I agree with that. I think that the giant squid could easily be interpreted as a kraken, especially from a distance. You see something like that, or even if you see it for a couple of seconds, you're going to have a huge impression in your mind and you're going to be blowing up its proportions as well. So a giant squid, as rare as they're found, as rare as they're sighted, you see them and boom, there you go. There's another sighting of a supposed kraken. In my video, I talked about its size as well. It's supposed to be so gigantic, like even to the point where it's almost like a landmass of sorts. And if you see it, you'll definitely remember something like that. So if there truly is something that large roaming the depths of the oceans, who knows? Could be. We talked about bloop as my very first video, talking about that giant creature as well. The seas are very, very large. The oceans have much land, so to speak, throughout the world. So something like this massive being out there, could be true. Let's see what the next one is. An orangutan. Orange pendek. Oh, I've talked about this one as well in the past. That's in Indonesia, number 9. It means short person in Indonesian, a small bipedal creature believed to inhabit the forest of Sumatra. It stands 3 to 5 feet tall, stocky build, short arms, reddish brown hair, but it could be a surviving species of the Homo floresiensis, a diminutive hominin discovered in Indonesia. So, yeah, I do believe this is a creature that could also be easily out there, could easily be interpreted for an orangutan as well, or some other type of primate seen from a distance. I don't remember much details though about this from my video. I talked about it a while back. Nothing really stands out that I could remember. For a while there, I thought it was that creature that was running on its hands, and it had its feet as its hands, like it basically was upside down. But no, that's not. I think that's another creature. But yeah, not much to talk about this one. Oh, look at this, number 10. The Tsuchinoko, I'm guessing that the T is silent. The Tsuchinoko is a legendary snake like creature from Japanese folklore said to inhabit the remote mountains of Japan. Descriptions of the Tsuchinoko vary, but most mention a thick, stubby body, wide head, venomous fangs. It can speak. Wow. Has a taste for alcohol. How about that? While others suggest that the creature brings good luck to those who encounter it. I have no idea. I haven't talked about this one at all. Nothing comes to mind as far as me talking about it in the past. So if anybody has any more info on this one, anybody from Japan, let me know. But at least the good news is it seems to be good luck. If you come across it, offer it alcohol. It seems like that's a delicacy as well. And then apparently you can talk to it as well. So ask it for some good suggestions, good fortune, something like that. And then it's bound to happen. Number 11. Ah, this must be the Mongolian death worm. Let's see. It is. Mongolian death worm in Mongolia. It's also known as the Olgoi Korkoi, fearsome creature said to lurk beneath the sands of the Gobi Desert. Eyewitnesses describe the worm as being 2 to 5 feet long, thick red body, venomous bites, capable of killing humans and animals instantly. But some cryptozoologists believe that it could be a type of sandboa or still unknown species of venomous snake. I wonder why they didn't talk about the acid that it spits out. This was one of my earliest cryptid videos, one of the more popular ones, had a huge amount of views. This one stood out because of its ferociousness, its viciousness, that acid that it throws out as well. It's completely and easily one of the most deadliest creatures that I've talked about throughout all of my channel. You do not want to come across this creature, not just because of its size, but obviously what it can do to you immediately. When it says it can kill you instantly, absolutely that it can, based on everything that's been described for it. So if this rendition itself doesn't give you the heebie-jeebies, then all the stuff mentioned about it should. So stay away from this creature as much as you can. Oh, number 12. Looks like a dinosaur. Kongamoto. I've talked about this one. Breaker of boats is in the local county language. It's a flying creature reported in the swamps of Zambia. They describe it as having a wingspan 4 to 7 feet, long toothy beak, and reddish skin lacking feather. Some researchers believe it could be attributed to large species of bat or a surviving pterosaur. So again, this is a creature, a very elusive one, and this was I talked about this a couple years back. This is definitely one that is a throwback to a long lost dinosaur. The notion of dinosaurs still being around in this world, I do believe it as well. Absolutely, that could happen. It's out there, especially if you go to thick foresty areas where so many people just don't have too much presence there. You could run across easily one of these, something that survived from who knows how many millions of years back through who knows how many generations, but they're there. So I do believe this is one of those that could easily exist. The fact that it's located there in Zambia definitely has a perfect spot for it to do so as well. another location where it will just won't have too many people around, and it'll allow it to basically live its life as is. Ah, what's this one? The bunyip. Oh, one of my earliest videos. Bunyip is a water dwelling creature from Australian Aboriginal folklore said to inhabit swamps, billabongs, and rivers. Descriptions vary, but most include a horse like head, flippers, long serpentine tail. They regard it as some Aboriginal tribes as a spiritual being, while others believe it a fictional creature that poses a threat to those who venture too close to its aquatic habitat. Why didn't you talk about its shapeshifting abilities? I remember this video. This was one of the earliest ones again, but it did have something like in terms, not a shapeshifter, but it could change. It could change its appearance. That's why it's hard to nail down how it looks like, because it can look like so many different things. Another deadly creature as well that you do not want to come across there, and another one that's found there in Australia too. Um, Horse-like head, flippers, long serpentine tail. I remember the header, the thumbnail that I found on it for it. It just showcased it looking like a weird animal, like something uh, from the video game Half-Life. Whenever he travels over to Zen, it looked almost like one of those creatures there. So interesting stuff. Here it looks like almost like a long lost dinosaur as well. Down to the second to last one. Looks like we have another aquatic monster here. Champ! Yes, I've talked about this guy before. Champ is a lake monster believed to reside in Lake Champlain, which borders New York, Vermont, Quebec. Eyewitnesses describe it having a long serpentine body, horse-like head, dark scaly skin. Could be a surviving plesiosaur or a large unknown species of fish, such as a sturgeon. Not much to talk about this one since it shares so many similarities to Nessie and everything that I just mentioned before. So definitely this is the United States version of the Loch Ness creature. And if it's out there somewhere, it just remains very, very elusive as well. But it seems like these aquatic theropods just are masters at being able to stay away from all forms of cameras. Seems like to me the easiest solution will be to just place a camera somewhere there, either on Loch Ness or in this case Champlain, and just have it record, live stream 24 hours a day, and have it be able to move and so on, zoom in. You could easily capture the existence of this creature within a short time period, but that's just my own thoughts. Last one, let's see what this one is. Majimpoguari? No, Mapinguari in Brazil. I don't think I've talked about this one. Mapinguari is a sloth-like creature, a giant from Brazilian folklore set to roam the Amazon rainforest. Descriptions include a large, bulky body covered in matted reddish hair, long claws, second rough on its belly. Some cryptozoologists believe it could be a surviving species of a giant ground sloth, such as the Megatherium. I think I actually have talked about it. Now that I remember, once I heard that it was a giant ground sloth. I remember looking up pictures of something similar to that. So I might have talked about it. I just don't have a chance to check right now. But otherwise, this is a creature I don't have much to mention. Um, Other than to stay away. Just the fact that it's a giant creature and it's again found somewhere in the rainforest, you don't have much chance associated with it. But otherwise, steer clear and you should be fine. But that's it. What do you guys think about this? 15 cryptids from around the world. Anybody from those locations that I mentioned? Anybody have experiences? If so, post those comments below. Maybe if you have more information I might have missed, please do so as well. All right, everyone. Thanks again as always. Take care.